The sky above the small colony planet of Orpheon shimmered with a strange light. It was not the natural auroras that danced across its thin atmosphere. No, this light came from the distant edge of space, where hundreds of ships appeared as tiny sparks against the void. From these sparks grew massive forms, each shaped like nothing humanity had ever built. The alien armada was here. Captain Elena Voss stood on the bridge of the Resolute, a human ship unlike any other. It was small compared to the alien vessels, but every inch of it was built with ingenuity and purpose. Its sleek hull glimmered with adaptive shields, and its engines hummed with a quiet but deadly power. Elena's eyes scanned the main screen, which now displayed the alien fleet in terrifying detail. "These ships, they're enormous," said Lieutenant Harris, her communications officer, voice tight with disbelief. "They must number in the thousands. We can't fight them all." Elena nodded slowly. She had heard these numbers before in simulations, but seeing them in real life was different. Still, fear did not control her. Humanity had faced impossible odds before, and somehow, they had always found a way. "Numbers alone don't win battles," Elena said firmly. "We have the Resolute. That's more than just a ship. It's our mind, our skill, and our courage. And it's enough." On the other side of the void, Admiral Clith of the alien Armada watched the small human vessel appear on their scanners. His eyes narrowed. He had led fleets through countless systems, crushing worlds that resisted. And now, he was certain of victory. "A single human ship?" Clith barked, his voice resonating through the alien bridge. "This is laughable. Prepare the weapons. This small insect will not even last 5 minutes." But the humans did not know that Clith's arrogance could be their advantage. The aliens had never encountered humanity at full strength, and they underestimated one of humanity's greatest traits: the ability to think differently. Back on the Resolute, Elena's crew prepared for battle. Engineers checked the shields, mechanics ran last-minute diagnostics on the weapons, and the AI interface hummed softly, running thousands of calculations to predict enemy maneuvers. "Captain," said Ensign Taro, the youngest on the bridge, "the Armada is transmitting a message. They want us to surrender immediately." Elena's fingers hovered over the controls. She opened the transmission. A tall, imposing alien appeared on the screen, its skin a pale green and covered in ridges. Its eyes glowed faintly, reflecting intelligence and cruelty. "Humans," it said in a voice that rumbled like distant thunder, "you are weak. Surrender now. Your world will be spared, but resistance will be punished." Elena leaned forward, her gaze steady. She felt no fear. "We will not surrender. Humanity has never bowed to threats, and we do not start now. If you wish to come, we will be ready." The alien's eyes flickered. "Foolish creatures. You will regret your decision." The transmission ended. The crew of the Resolute exchanged tense looks, but Elena remained calm. She knew that humanity's advantage was not in size or numbers, it was in creativity, adaptability, and courage. And they had that in abundance. "Lieutenant Harris," she said, "plot a course that takes us behind that asteroid belt. We'll use it for cover. The Armada won't expect a small ship to be this bold." Harris nodded, fingers flying across the controls. The ship shifted silently, slipping behind massive rocks that orbited the planet. From this hidden position, the humans could observe the alien fleet without being detected immediately. As they watched, the scale of the threat became clear. The aliens were preparing for war in a way humans rarely saw. Entire squadrons aligned into formations, energy cannons charged, and small ships swarmed like a deadly cloud. It was a show of power meant to intimidate, and it worked, if one believed only in numbers. Elena turned to her crew. "Listen carefully. We are not here to match their numbers. We are here to strike where it hurts, to move faster than they expect, and to show them that one human ship can change everything." She walked along the bridge, making eye contact with each crew member. "We may be outgunned, outnumbered, and outmatched, but we are not outsmarted. Trust in your training, trust in the ship, and trust in each other. We are humanity. We fight differently. We fight smarter. And we fight together." The crew nodded. Confidence replaced fear. They knew what humans had accomplished before. Small teams defeating enormous odds, clever strategies turning disasters into victories. And now, they would prove it again. Meanwhile, Admiral Clith continued his preparations. He ordered long-range scans of the human ship, but the Resolute's stealth systems hid its exact position. For hours, the aliens tried to detect it, failing every time. Frustration began to build among the alien commanders. They had faced many species, but none had the cunning to avoid them so thoroughly. At one point, the aliens sent a small attack squadron to search for the human ship. Elena watched through the sensors as tiny alien vessels moved like predators, scanning, probing, and firing energy pulses. "Captain," said Harris, "they found nothing. They are searching blindly." Elena smiled. "Good. That's exactly where we want them. Let's make them pay for their arrogance." The humans waited until the alien search ships were close to the asteroid belt. Then, with perfect timing, the Resolute launched a series of decoys, small drones that mimicked the ship's energy signature. The alien vessels, thinking they had located the humans, attacked the drones instead. Explosions lit the void, and the aliens wasted precious energy and time. Elena gave the command. "All systems ready. Begin Phase 1. The AI interface projected the alien fleet's weaknesses. The Resolute moved like a ghost, weaving through gaps in the massive Armada. It struck critical points: energy conduits, communication relays, and supply drones. The humans were not trying to destroy the fleet. They were teaching it a lesson. Humans were unpredictable and dangerous. Admiral Clith's voice boomed over the alien fleet. "Destroy that ship. It is small, but it dares defy me." The alien armada closed in, but every attack the aliens launched was anticipated and avoided by the humans. They twisted through the battlefield, striking suddenly, then disappearing into the shadows of asteroids and debris. Hours passed. The humans grew tired but remained focused. They had learned something vital. The aliens, though powerful, were not infallible. They relied on predictable formations and brute force. Humanity relied on adaptability, ingenuity, and courage. Finally, as the alien ships began to regroup, Elena called her crew together. "We've done what most thought impossible. The Armada has felt our power, and they fear it. But the battle is only beginning. They will not give up easily. We need to rest, repair, and prepare for the next phase. Tomorrow, we show them that humans are not just a species to conquer. We are a force to be respected." The crew smiled, tired but proud. For the first time, they sensed that even one human ship could make a difference against an entire armada. As night fell over Orpheon, the alien fleet hung in space, massive and threatening. They had underestimated humans, and that mistake would soon cost them. Elena gazed at the stars, thinking of Earth, of humanity, and of what they had achieved with just a single ship. "This is just the beginning," she whispered, "and they will remember us." The Resolute floated silently, a small beacon of hope against the looming darkness of thousands of alien ships. The galaxy had never seen humans like this before: clever, brave, and willing to fight when others would surrender. And so, the stage was set. The Armada believed victory was near. Humanity believed in its courage and mind. In the void of space, one small ship was about to prove that even the smallest spark could ignite a fire that no armada could extinguish. The first contact, the first skirmish, the first lesson had all been delivered by a single human crew. Tomorrow, the battle would escalate. But tonight, humanity had already won something far more important: respect, courage, and proof that humans could never be underestimated. The Resolute drifted silently in the shadows of the asteroid belt. Captain Elena Voss watched the alien armada's movements on the main screen. They were regrouping, furious after the small human ship had struck their supply lines and crippled a few smaller vessels. The aliens were arrogant, but they were learning quickly. Humans were not predictable. "Captain," said Lieutenant Harris, pointing to the screen, "they are launching a scouting force. Looks like 3 squadrons of attack drones heading this way." Elena narrowed her eyes. "Good. Let them come." We know how to handle small numbers of ships. Prepare the decoy drones and energize the forward weapons. The crew worked quickly. Engineers monitored energy levels while the AI predicted possible flight paths for the alien drones. The Resolute systems had already calculated over 1 million combinations of attack and evasion sequences. Every move had a counter, every attack a shield. As the first alien ships approached, Elena took a deep breath. This is it. Show them what humanity can do. The alien drones appeared from the edge of the asteroid belt. Their energy cannons glowed brightly, preparing to fire. They moved with precision, expecting the humans to panic or retreat. But the Resolute stayed calm, moving in patterns that seemed random but were perfectly calculated. Fire decoy drones, Elena commanded. Tiny human-made drones shot out from the ship, each one emitting energy signatures identical to the Resolute. The alien drones were confused. They fired, but every shot missed. Explosions erupted on the decoys, lighting the void in bright flashes. Beautiful, whispered Harris. They can't tell the difference. Elena smiled slightly. It's not brute force, Lieutenant. It's brains. The Resolute darted from cover to cover, weaving between the asteroids. The alien ships adjusted their attack patterns, but the humans were always one step ahead. The AI suggested a daring maneuver: hit the alien drones from above, where their blind spots were weakest. Engage Maneuver Delta, Elena said. Full speed and keep the shields at maximum. The small human ship accelerated, slipping through the void like a shadow. It struck the alien drones with concentrated energy blasts, destroying several in seconds. The remaining drones scattered in panic. Meanwhile, on the alien flagship, Admiral Clith's eyes blazed with anger. Focus fire on that ship. It is tiny, but it moves like a ghost. I will not be mocked by a single human vessel. But Clith underestimated something crucial. Humans did not fight like any species he had encountered. They did not rely on sheer numbers or overwhelming firepower. They relied on creativity, teamwork, and the ability to adapt instantly. Back on the Resolute, Elena saw an opening. Lieutenant, target the enemy's energy conduits on that cruiser. If we take it down, the squadron will lose power. Target locked, Harris replied, pressing the fire command. A pulse of energy shot from the human ship, striking the cruiser's main energy conduit. Sparks flew as the alien ship shuddered violently. It began to spin uncontrollably, colliding with other drones in the squadron. The alien formation collapsed. The crew cheered quietly. Even a small victory mattered when facing thousands of enemy ships. Every hit weakened the Armada's confidence and strengthened humanity's resolve. Elena knew, however, that victory would not come easily. The alien fleet was massive, and the Resolute could not survive a prolonged battle against thousands of vessels. They needed to make every move count. AI, scan the enemy fleet for weak points, Elena commanded. The ship's AI interface hummed. Scanning complete. Recommended target, alien command cruiser. Shields are weaker on the dorsal side. Strike there and you can cripple their communications for hours. Elena's eyes narrowed. That's our chance. Prepare weapons. We hit fast, hit hard, and get out before they recover. The human ship moved stealthily through the battlefield, dodging energy blasts that screamed past like deadly comets. For every attack launched by the aliens, the Resolute had already calculated a counter, avoiding damage and setting up the next strike. The alien drones tried to regroup, but every move the humans made had a purpose. They hit supply ships, cut off reinforcements, and caused confusion in the ranks. Slowly, the Armada's confidence began to crumble. They had expected a simple surrender, but humans fought differently. As the Resolute approached the alien command cruiser, Elena's heart pounded. This was the critical moment. A successful strike here could change the battle. Shields up, fire at will, she ordered. Energy beams shot from the human ship, striking the cruiser's weak dorsal points. Explosions rocked the massive vessel, cutting off communication signals to nearby ships. Panic spread through the alien fleet. Without orders, their formations began to falter. Admiral Clith roared in fury. This is impossible! How can one ship cause such chaos? Captain, Harris said, pointing at the screen. They are sending reinforcements. A full attack squadron is heading straight for us. Elena nodded. Then we give them a taste of humanity. Prepare evasive maneuvers and ready the experimental energy pulse. The alien squadron arrived, expecting an easy kill. But the Resolute was ready. The human ship moved unpredictably, darting left and right, diving and rising between asteroids. The experimental energy pulse, a weapon the humans had been testing for years, charged slowly in the ship's core. Now, Elena commanded. A blinding burst of energy shot from the ship, engulfing the alien squadron. Shields failed, ships exploded, and the remaining vessels scattered in confusion. For the first time, the aliens felt real fear. Elena exhaled. Status report. All systems stable, Captain, Harris replied. The enemy has taken heavy losses. They are disoriented, but they will recover if we don't keep pressure on them. Elena looked at the massive alien fleet, stretching endlessly across the void. We don't need to destroy them all, just enough to make them think twice. The humans rested briefly behind a field of asteroids, repairing minor damage and preparing for the next phase. For a small crew, the stress was enormous, but morale was high. They had struck fear into a force that had thought itself unbeatable. Hours later, Admiral Clith regrouped his forces. His voice was sharp with rage. This human ship, it is not possible. Deploy all attack fleets. I will crush them myself if needed. The Armada's main forces moved like a tidal wave, advancing with overwhelming firepower. The Resolute could not face them head-on, so Elena relied on strategy. AI, calculate evasive paths through the asteroid fields and debris, she said. We will not meet them in open space. We will fight on our terms. The ship hummed with intelligence, processing millions of possible maneuvers. Paths calculated. Estimated success rate, 87%. Elena smiled. Better than good enough. The humans darted through the asteroid belt, drawing alien ships into narrow corridors where their numbers counted for nothing. Energy blasts missed by inches as the Resolute struck isolated cruisers. Every attack weakened the aliens and spread confusion throughout their ranks. Meanwhile, the human crew communicated constantly, sharing observations, adjusting strategies, and learning the alien patterns. Every movement was a lesson in adaptation, every strike a reminder of human ingenuity. As the battle raged, one moment stood out. A massive alien cruiser moved to flank the Resolute, intending to trap the human ship. Elena acted instantly. Prepare gravity pulse. Aim for that cruiser's engines. The ship fired, and the cruiser was thrown off course, spinning uncontrollably. Several smaller ships collided with it, causing massive damage. The alien formation wavered. Humanity's creativity had turned a trap into an opportunity. Hours passed, and the alien fleet, though massive, could not bring the Resolute down. They had lost ships, their formations were scattered, and their commanders were frustrated. For the first time, humanity's courage and ingenuity had turned the tide. Elena gathered her crew. We have shown them what humans can do. We are outnumbered, yes. Outgunned, yes. But we are not defeated. Rest up, repair what you can, and prepare. Tomorrow, the real test begins. One ship can change the outcome of a battle, but only if we stay smart, fast, and united. The crew nodded, proud but aware of the dangers ahead. Humanity's fight was just beginning, but the Resolute had already proven that courage, strategy, and intelligence could overcome overwhelming odds. Far across the void, Admiral Clith clenched his fists. The humans had struck first and struck hard, and now, he knew, victory would not come easily. Elena gazed at the stars, her eyes shining with determination. One ship, one crew, one chance. That's all we need. And with that, the humans prepared to face the alien Armada again, proving that even against impossible odds, humanity would fight, adapt, and survive. The Resolute floated among the debris of destroyed alien ships. Space was littered with the remains of cruisers, fighters, and supply vessels. The alien Armada, once a single unstoppable wave, now moved in disarray. Captain Elena Voss stood on the bridge, her eyes scanning the vast battlefield. We have done more damage than expected, said Lieutenant Harris. They are regrouping, but their morale is low. Many of their ships are damaged and retreating. Elena nodded. Good. That is exactly what we need. But we cannot stop now. If we give them time to recover, they will crush us. Humanity survives by staying ahead, by thinking faster than the enemy. We strike again, and this time, we go for the heart of their fleet. The crew began repairs. Engineers moved quickly, fixing minor hull breaches and recalibrating the weapon systems. The AI interface hummed softly, predicting enemy movements and calculating multiple attack strategies. The humans were exhausted, but adrenaline and determination kept them focused. Meanwhile, Admiral Clith on the alien flagship bellowed orders. Crush that ship! It defies me! Show them that humans are nothing! But the alien fleets were confused and scattered. Their ships had relied on perfect coordination. But now that the humans had disrupted their formation, chaos spread. Small alien squadrons collided, ships misfired, and commanders began arguing. For the first time, the Armada was vulnerable, not because of strength, but because of unpredictability. Elena turned to her crew. This is our chance. We are outnumbered, but that does not matter. Humans do not fight like other species. We adapt. We innovate. We use every advantage. Prepare the drones, deploy decoys, and get ready for a high-speed assault. The Resolute's AI calculated the most effective path, threading through enemy lines, striking critical supply ships, and creating confusion in the main fleet. The humans moved like a shadow, fast and precise. The first target was a massive alien cruiser, supplying smaller attack drones. Its destruction would cripple the enemy's ability to continue coordinated attacks. Elena's fingers flew over the controls. Fire! Energy beams shot from the Resolute, striking the cruiser's engines. Sparks erupted across its hull, and explosions shook the surrounding smaller ships. Several drones were destroyed instantly, and the larger ships were forced to stop and regroup. The humans cheered quietly. Each success, no matter how small, counted. Captain, said Harris, pointing at the screen, they are sending a retaliatory strike squadron. They want to take us out before we can do more damage. Elena's eyes narrowed. Then we give them a demonstration of why humans never back down. She tapped commands into the console. Deploy the adaptive drones and activate stealth mode. Tiny human drones shot out from the ship, each one mimicking the energy signature of the Resolute. The alien strike squadron fired blindly at the decoys, hitting nothing but space. Meanwhile, the human ship struck from above, where the alien ship's blind spots were largest. Explosions erupted, and the enemy ships faltered. The alien commanders were growing desperate. The humans are everywhere at once. How can one ship be in so many places? Clith shouted. But he could not comprehend that this was not magic. It was human ingenuity, skill, and courage. Elena took a deep breath. AI scanned for their command ships. If we disable them, the fleet will lose direction. The interface hummed and flashed. Target acquired. The largest cruiser in the center of their formation is vulnerable on the dorsal side. Probability of success, 78%. Better than enough, Elena said. All weapons. Target the command cruiser. Make it count. The Resolute darted through space, weaving between enemy cruisers. Energy beams fired with precision, striking the dorsal shields of the alien command ship. Explosions ripped through its hull, damaging communication systems. The fleet fell into disarray. Without orders, smaller ships collided or moved in confusion, making themselves easy targets for the humans. For the crew of the Resolute, the feeling was exhilarating. Look at them, said Engineer Lin, pointing at the screen. They are losing formation. They don't know where to go. Elena nodded. That's the advantage of being unpredictable. Humans do not fight like any other species. We adapt, and we use our minds. Never forget that. The aliens tried to retaliate. Massive energy beams fired from several cruisers, cutting through space like lightning. The Resolute dodged with perfect timing, slipping past the attacks. Each maneuver was calculated, each strike precise. Humanity was showing the galaxy that courage and intellect could overcome overwhelming force. Hours passed, and the battle continued. The human crew was tireless, using every trick in their arsenal. Decoy drones, stealth maneuvers, Targeted energy blasts and AI-predicted attacks kept the alien fleet off balance. Slowly but surely, the aliens began retreating from the front lines. But Elena knew this was not enough. Victory would not come from small skirmishes. They needed a decisive strike. AI, calculate a path to the center of the Armada. We will strike at their main fleet, create maximum confusion, and then retreat before they can respond. The AI projected the route. Probability of success, 65%. Risk, extreme. Elena smiled. Extreme risk is our specialty. Prepare for full assault. Everyone, stay sharp. We are about to show them what humans can do. The Resolute accelerated, weaving through the alien formation. The crew worked in unison, repairing minor damage, calculating firing solutions, and coordinating decoy deployments. The alien fleet tried to stop them, but every attack was anticipated and countered. Then came the moment of truth. Elena ordered the experimental energy pulse charged to maximum. The pulse was a weapon humans had been developing for years, a concentrated burst of energy designed to disable multiple ships at once. Its deployment was risky. The Resolute would be vulnerable during the firing process. Fire the pulse, Elena commanded. A blinding wave of energy shot from the human ship, engulfing the alien ships in the center of the fleet. Shields failed, engines exploded, and ships collided. The once powerful Armada was thrown into chaos. For the first time, the aliens felt fear. Admiral Clith roared in anger. "This is impossible! One ship, one human ship!" He struggled to comprehend the humans' bravery and cunning. The Resolute used the confusion to retreat behind a massive asteroid, repairing minor damage and preparing for the next strike. "We have done more than expected," Harris said. "Their fleet is scattered. Their morale is broken." Elena looked at the alien fleet on the screen. "It's not just about damage. It's about teaching them a lesson. Humans fight differently. Humans never give up. And humans are dangerous when underestimated." The crew nodded. They understood what their captain meant. Humanity had survived, thrived, and dominated in history not because of sheer numbers, but because of ingenuity, courage, and adaptability. That was the lesson they were sending across the stars. Hours later, the aliens regrouped, but their movements were hesitant. Smaller ships stayed close to the damaged cruisers, reluctant to venture forward. The humans had proven something vital. A single ship, one determined crew, could alter the course of an entire armada. Elena addressed her crew. "We have done the impossible today, but the war is not over. Tomorrow they will come back stronger. We must be ready, smarter, and faster. Humanity does not surrender. Humanity adapts, and humanity fights. That is our strength." As the Resolute drifted silently, a small beacon in the vast void, the humans reflected on their victory. They were tired, their ship was damaged, and the battle had been dangerous. Yet their spirits were high. They had proven to the aliens, and to themselves, that one human ship could strike fear into an entire armada. Even Admiral Clith knew it. For the first time in his life, he realized that humans were not to be underestimated. Clever, brave, and unpredictable, humanity was a force unlike any the galaxy had faced. Elena gazed at the stars. One ship, one crew, one chance. That's all we need. And tomorrow, we will remind them again. And with that, the humans prepared for the next engagement, ready to turn fear into strategy, chaos into opportunity, and ingenuity into victory. The Resolute floated in the void, a small beacon against the vast alien armada. Captain Elena Voss stood on the bridge, her hands gripping the rail, eyes focused on the endless stretch of ships. The battle had already shown humanity's courage and ingenuity, but the final test was ahead. "Captain," said Lieutenant Harris, pointing to the tactical display, "the aliens are regrouping. They are sending their full assault force. If we don't act carefully, they can overwhelm us." Elena's jaw tightened. "We don't fight like others, Lieutenant. We strike, adapt, and survive. One ship can change everything if we use our brains. Prepare for full engagement. This is the final act." The crew moved with quiet urgency. Engineers recalibrated shields, weapon systems hummed with power, and the AI projected the enemy's most probable movements. Every detail mattered. Every second could be the difference between survival and annihilation. On the alien flagship, Admiral Clith bellowed at his commanders, "They are still alive! After all the losses, one human ship stands against thousands of us. Destroy it now, or I will!" The Armada advanced in a massive, coordinated formation, energy cannons glowing ominously. Their plan was simple: overwhelm the humans with sheer firepower. But the Resolute would not meet them in open space. Elena turned to her crew. "AI, calculate a path through the fleet's center. We strike at their heart, create maximum disruption, and then slip away. Decoy drones, full stealth, and precision attacks. Everyone ready?" "Aye, Captain," Harris said. The humans braced as the Resolute surged forward. The alien ships opened fire, massive beams of energy streaking past, missing by inches. The ship's shields absorbed minor damage, and the Resolute danced through the chaos, untouchable and precise. The AI guided the human ship toward the command ships, the core of the alien formation. Every move was calculated, dodging energy blasts, deploying decoys, and striking vulnerable points. The humans moved like a single organism, perfectly coordinated, perfectly fearless. "Captain, we are within striking distance of the enemy's central fleet," Harris reported. "Shields on the command cruisers are weak on the dorsal sides. Probability of success for a full strike: 70%. Elena's eyes narrowed. "That is enough. Weapons ready. We hit together, and we hit hard." Energy beams from the Resolute struck the central cruisers with pinpoint accuracy. Explosions tore through the alien fleet, communication lines were cut, and chaos erupted. Smaller ships collided or spun uncontrollably, and the aliens' perfect coordination broke down completely. Admiral Clith roared, disbelief and fury in his voice. "Impossible! How can one ship, one human ship, do this?" The humans had done what the aliens could not anticipate. They had turned the Armada's strength into weakness. By striking unpredictably, using ingenuity, and targeting critical points, they had created a chain reaction of destruction. Elena gave the next order. "Full speed. We slip through the remaining ships and deploy the final wave of decoy drones. Let them chase shadows while we prepare for the final strike." The Resolute accelerated, weaving through the remaining alien ships. Tiny drones flared, mimicking the ship's energy signature. The aliens fired relentlessly, but every shot hit nothing. Chaos and confusion spread. Ships collided, weapons misfired, and the alien formation crumbled. On the bridge, the crew worked with unmatched focus. "AI, scan for remaining command ships. Identify vulnerabilities," Elena commanded. The interface responded immediately. 2 primary command vessels remain. Shields at 40%. Engines partially damaged. Recommended strike pattern: simultaneous energy blasts on dorsal sections. Elena nodded. "Then we hit them together. All weapons, fire on my mark." The human ship darted between cruisers, energy beams firing with precision. Explosions erupted across the alien flagship and its companion vessel. Engines failed, communication systems went offline, and panic spread throughout the fleet. The alien Armada's retreat began. Without orders, without coordination, the once mighty force scattered into space. Even Admiral Clith had no choice but to order withdrawal. Humanity had won, not by overwhelming numbers, but by ingenuity, courage, and strategy. Elena exhaled, glancing at her crew. "We've done it. One ship, one crew, one chance, and we changed the outcome of a battle against thousands." The crew cheered quietly. They had faced impossible odds and survived. They had proved that humans were not to be underestimated, that one small but clever and brave group could alter the course of a war. But the mission was not yet complete. The Resolute had suffered damage, and the crew needed to ensure the ship could return safely. Engineers worked quickly, repairing shields, recalibrating engines, and monitoring energy levels. Every crew member knew that survival was still a priority. As the humans repaired their vessel, the alien ships retreated into the far reaches of space. Their defeat was clear, and their arrogance had been broken. Across the galaxy, the story of a single human ship standing against an entire armada would spread, inspiring fear, respect, and awe. Elena looked at the stars, her mind already planning the return to Earth. We have shown them what humans can do. This is just the beginning. The galaxy will remember our courage, our ingenuity, and our spirit. Harris nodded. Captain, the aliens will think twice before attacking humans again. One ship has already taught them that lesson. Elena smiled. Not just one ship, humanity taught them. Humans never surrender. Humans never stop fighting. And humans never underestimate the power of courage and intelligence. The Resolute began its journey home. The crew was tired, but their hearts were full. They had faced a fleet thousands of times their size and prevailed. They had survived against impossible odds, and they had proven the ultimate truth. No matter how overwhelming the challenge, humans could succeed with bravery, strategy, and teamwork. Back on Earth, news of the victory spread quickly. Governments, scientists, and citizens alike celebrated the courage of a single ship and its crew. Humanity's reputation soared. Across the galaxy, aliens whispered warnings to one another. Never underestimate humans. Captain Elena Voss addressed her crew one last time before the journey home. You have done something extraordinary. History will remember this. But remember, it was not just the weapons or the ship. It was your courage, your teamwork, and your ability to think differently. That is what makes humans unstoppable. The crew nodded, proud and inspired. They had proven that one human ship could take on an entire armada and come out victorious. They had shown that strategy, intelligence, and bravery could overcome overwhelming odds. As the Resolute sailed toward home, stars streaking past, Elena reflected on the journey. Humanity had faced the impossible and survived. The galaxy would never forget the day one small ship defied an entire armada. And neither would the crew of the Resolute. The battle had been won, but the message was clear. Wherever humans went, they would fight, adapt, and prevail. One ship, one crew, one miracle. It was all it took to prove that humanity was a force to be reckoned with in the universe. Elena looked out at the stars and whispered, "We are humans, and no fleet, no matter how large, can stop us when we fight together." And with that, the Resolute disappeared into the endless expanse of space, carrying humanity's courage and legend into the galaxy. The Armada would never forget, and the stars would always remember the day one ship showed the true power of humanity.